High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds a hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown Bowers, touchdown Bowie.
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go. Patomeco with the pass. Narario has a bit of a look, shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions. Energetic Media Solutions.
It's game day in Southeast Arlington, Texas, and Zap has all the action you're looking for. Broadcasting live, it's Texas High School Baseball with James Bowie High School, presented by John Wade Roofing. The pregame show is coming right up after these messages.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346. Here we go. Welcome to the Southeast Arlington home of the Bowie Volunteers, the ballpark at Bowie, for this afternoon's 8-6A baseball action, district action between the home Bowie Volunteers and the visiting Haltom Buffalos. We're glad to have you here with us this afternoon. This is Pops Doug Arnold on the call with Jot Holly. Say hey, Jot.
I got my voice back so I can say hey a little bit.
You got your voice back just a little bit.
Just enough.
And in between, John Ethan with us on the production, and we're glad to have him with us in between the two broadcasters tonight, helping us run the commercials and keep us in line is John Ethan tonight. Thank you for being here. John, we've got an interesting ball game tonight for the Bowie Volunteers. There was a must-win situation last Friday night here against the Arlington Colts. Arlington took the game early in the week 12-2 in a run rule, and then they came home on Friday night and they had to have a win. And you know what they did?
They won.
They won. The pitching performance by Roman Ortega was absolutely masterful. He was in control of that game from first pitch to last pitch, calm, cool, collected, had the Colts tied up at the plate. They could not do anything. And now, I'm going to be honest, John, offensively, Bowie was still struggling to get the key hits. But they got runners on base, and third base coach Nolan Crowdis did a fantastic job, and I told him this after the game, of being opportunistic, because Arlington made 2 uncharacteristic errors in one inning at shortstop, and that allowed 2 runs to score. And it was the bottom of the 3rd inning when that happened. And then in the bottom of the 5th inning, Bowie got another runner as far as second base, and the relief pitcher, Abe Alvarado, threw one to the backstop and allowed that runner to score. And that was the run production for Bowie, was errors and wild pitches. But you got to give them credit because they got the runners on base into scoring position where they could take advantage of any mistake that happened to crop up throughout the night. It was very interesting to watch that game unfold. So we are back here tonight. The win for Bowie puts them at 6-15 overall for their record on the season, and 3-5 in district. Now, what does that mean about the overall district record? The overall district record has South Grand Prairie at the top. Their district record 7-1, and they are locked in first place. There's a logjam in second place right now. Arlington High is at 6-2. Martin is at 6-2, and Lamar is at 6-2. So there are 3 teams tied up, and those 3 teams are playing critical games this week. Arlington High is playing against Lamar, and they're both in that top 2 spot. Martin is playing against South Grand Prairie, number 2 versus number 1, and Lamar in that second spot is again taking on Arlington. Bowie is in the proverbial 3rd spot, taking on a Haltom team that is really struggling this year. Haltom is 4-19 overall and 1-7 in district. Their lone win against the Grand Prairie team early in the district season. So Chris Howard's team, Chris is in his 2nd year, really nice guy. I enjoy visiting with him whenever I get a chance. And he's at the home plate now with Coach Alex Johnson for the Bowie Volunteers, and they're shaking hands with the umpires and getting ready to go. So we are looking forward to a very exciting match, a match that has a lot of significance for Bowie. Somebody's going to end up in that 4th spot. You know what's also interesting is Sam Houston is set in a position, if we're looking at the overall district, they're 1-7 right now, but they're going into a series against Grand Prairie this week, which they very well could sweep. And then they're going into a series against this Haltom team, which they very well could sweep. I think we need to keep an eye on Sam Houston and see if they don't creep up and grab that number 4 spot for the playoffs this year.
I guess the biggest takeaway of that for Bowie is if you kind of in a similar situation you've already played Sam, you've already played Grand Prairie, you split those series. You can't split this one. You got to win both against a team that's 1-7 in district play. 2, you don't want to get caught by Sam Houston, who has already split a series with you, and they've already played Arlington, and they've played most of the tougher games. And for Bowie as well, if you can take 2 of those wins and plus the win last week, and by Friday you might be in a 3-game win streak, putting you in a shot that, say Martin gets swept or say Lamar gets swept.
Yeah. Then
you're looking right at Lamar, who you get ready to play. I believe next week you played Martin already, and you didn't have the luck last 2 weeks ago when you played Martin. But say Martin gets swept or Lamar gets swept, you're in a chance to work your way back up. You have a lot of these players on this Bowie team that were in the playoffs last year, from Jackson Turner to Christian Uribe. So a lot of these guys have that late season experience, and you want to end this season differently how last season ended. Last season they started off hot and got caught. This season they've started off slow. Maybe they can do the catching.
Good insights there, Jot. I really appreciate that. We're going to give you some insight into the sponsor for our pregame show. Chapman Cornelius presents our pregame show, a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. The pregame show brought to you by Chapman Cornelius Insurance. You hear the golden pipes of Yachty Pagan in the background, the PA announcer here at the ballpark at Bowie introducing the Haltom Buffalos. And let me introduce them as well. Their lineup tonight, the first batter in the order, number 11, Ethan Salinas, will be playing left field. The batting second, number 1, Orlando Reyes, playing third base. Batting third, number 3, the pitcher tonight, Jose Arriguez. Batting fourth, number 24, Gavin Shipp, who will be playing first base. Batting fifth, number 19, Landon Nelson, playing right field. Number 6, batting sixth, number 21, Daniel Vallejo, the second baseman. Batting seventh, number 7, Fernando Hernandez, designated hitter for tonight's ball game. Batting eighth for Haltom, number 2, Matthew Turner, playing center field. And number 9, hole hitter, Kenan Wallace, the catcher for the Buffaloes, sporting the number 5. Head coach is Chris Wallace in his second year as the head man here at Haltom. As we go over to introducing the Bowie Volunteers, who are coming out on the field with their favorite teacher tonight. It's Teacher Appreciation, Jot. I don't think we ever did those kind of things when we were in high school, did we?
I don't think I did, though. We've done those type of things. Now being a teacher and you being a teacher, I don't know if anybody's going to appreciate me much at Tarrant County. If there's a baseball game like an intramural, I might get lucky that a film student might, but John Ethan sitting next to me, he might call me out there as his favorite teacher.
There we go. That little heads up there, John Ethan. If you want that A, you need to Okay, let's look at the Bowie Volunteers defensively as they're taking the field with their favorite teachers tonight. At first base for the Bowie Volunteers, Roman Ortega, the pitcher from the other night that pitched that masterful game against Arlington High and won that game here. At second base, Josue Martinez. Over at third base, Christian Uribe. At shortstop, Jackson Turner. In left field for the Volunteers, Micah Couch. In center field, Isaiah Piper. In right field, Darian Brown. And the battery for the Bowie Volunteers tonight, Andrew Vega pitching and Raul Sanchez behind the plate for the Bowie Volunteers.
Is number 1, Isaiah Piper.
Isaiah Piper heading out to his position in center field. The dimensions here at the ballpark at Bowie, just to set the stage for you, 310 feet down the left field and right field lines, 375 feet to dead straightaway center field. The weather here tonight at the ballpark at Bowie, 71 degrees at game time, and the flags are hanging limp out there. So for a change tonight, John, the wind will not be a factor at this point in the ball game.
Which is probably a good thing, how spring gets changing winds, changing weathers. The flags in center field, they're kind of laying low, laying limp. The flags back here by us are a little slight breeze, not much. The caps aren't going to fly away, so good weather tonight.
Yep. We're going to step aside for just a moment and honor our country with the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, as we're back at the ballpark at Bowie and the national anthem has been played. The teams are heading back to their respective dugouts, and we are about ready to play ball. Jot, across town, the other game with great implications on the Zach Arnold Productions Network. Arlington High is at Lamar tonight. Zach is on the call with Cameron. Cam, the cameraman, is on the call tonight with Zach. And we'll be keeping an eye on that game for you throughout the evening, as it has, like I said, great implication in the district playoff scenario. But right now, we've got some great weather for baseball here. We've got some Latino music playing in the background, and we're ready to play some ball here. Bowie comes out in their home whites, a very sharp-looking uniform with bright orange ball caps, blue pinstripe on the white jersey top and bottom, blue numbers outlined by orange piping. The Haltom Buffalos are clad in black on black with orange letters on their uniforms and a big bold Haltom across the top of the front of the chest. So we're looking forward to a few warm-up pitches here from Mr. Vega as he is throwing his warm-ups to his catcher, Raul Sanchez. Johnny, is there anything you're looking for in tonight's ball game?
We're looking to see how the defense works around Vega on the mound. Last time I got a chance to see them was the Martin series. Obviously, last week we had the joint series with Arlington Bowie, and I also had been out because of my voice and work and a few other things. So it'll be interesting to see. This is my first time in 2 weeks seeing this team. Last time I saw them, there wasn't much production behind Vega on the mound versus Martin. So I'm interested to see how they can kind of carry that win last week over a Arlington team into the night against a Haltom team that's a much different Haltom team than last season, where the struggles are more real. Last season, this Haltom team was a dangerous team, and all it takes is a matter of a year to throw things off. So to see what Vega can do, what the defense can do, it's really going to be beneficial.
All right, here we go. Andrew Vega's ready. The leadoff batter for Haltom, Ethan Salinas, steps in, and we are ready for the first pitch of the game tonight. Vega winds and delivers. Low and outside, and fans, as we open up this game, open up your home to new possibilities with Modern West Windows and Doors, our first pitch presenters this season. First pitch presented by Modern West Windows. Pitch number 2 fouled over the right dugout side. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Ethan Salinas. Salinas leading off. Orlando Reyes on deck and Jose Rodriguez, the pitcher, in the hole to start for Haltom. That pitch must have been a little bit inside for the umpire. Runs to 2 balls and 1 strike on the leadoff batter.
Looked like a very good inside pitch there for a 1-1 by Vega. Try to change the eye level and come inside.
Looked like the very same place. He's being consistent. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitter's count coming here to Salinas.
You don't want to walk the leadoff guy to start the ball game.
Do not. Don't want to set that precedent. See if Vega can work back into control here, and it's low and outside. He overcompensates, and he indeed does walk Salinas to lead the ball game.
Batting second, the third baseman, number 1.
And Pops, you and me have both seen this Haltom team in different scenarios. You saw them get basically blanked in a perfect game from Danny Bustamante earlier this season. I saw them on the rematch game in which Arlington ended up beating them 12-2 at Arlington High. Again, that's a different team than what Bowie has, but this Haltom team here, struggled both those games versus Bustamante. Vega is a very, very good pitcher up there on the mound for the Volunteers. So he's not the same caliber as Bustamante pitching on the mound, but he has similar stuff, though.
Reyes squared the bunt and fouled it back behind us. His count's 0-1. Runner takes off. Bunt is laid down. It's beautiful. Vega fields it, gets it over to first base where Ramon Ortega puts him out, but the runner goes down to second on the sack. You were mentioning Vega's last outing was against Bustamante at Arlington last week, and he really got rattled and was removed in that first inning. Had a really rough outing last week, so we're hoping that he can bounce back here against Haltom in this week's action. 1 out now in the inning on the 1-3 put out, and Salinas is down at second. That brings up Jose Rodriguez, the pitcher for tonight's ball game. Good pitch right down the middle from Vega. Strike 1 on his counterpart at the plate.
Speaking of his last outing against Arlington, Arlington started the game off against Lamar already 1-0 with 2 runners on in the top of the first inning. game just started. Colts already on the scoreboard.
Umpire grants time to Jose Rodriguez at the plate. That's good news, John. I'm sitting here watching this game very intently and missed the broadcast I've got going on my cell phone here off to my right. Vega comes set, takes a look at Salinas at second. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled to the right side over in the Bowie bullpen area.
I understand the watching of a screen intently. I missed a lot of things last night. But one thing I didn't miss was my Wolverines winning the national championship in basketball.
You know, I did not even watch the ball game because I didn't have a dog in the hunt anymore.
I had a Wolverine in the hunt, I guess, at that point.
They were a very dominating team from what I saw in the quarters. And I was just like, they're going to be the shoe-in. Vega fakes the throw to second, ready to come back home. A little bit outside. Sanchez does a really good job blocking that. The backstop here at Bowie is like the wide open ranges. I mean, roaming home on the range here at the ballpark at Bowie. There's probably 20 yards of grass behind home plate, and if Sanchez doesn't stop that ball, Salinas is definitely taking an extra base. Very a lot of pressure on the catchers here to keep those balls in front of them. Like that one. Oh, the announcer's jinx. I'm sorry, Bowie Nation. That one gets away from Sanchez. A wild pitch will put Ethan Salinas down at third base now with only one out in the inning.
And it's, like you said, it's a far backstop here. Haltom also has a very far backstop at their home field.
They do.
Much different than what we used to see at Arlington, for example, where you ride up on the backstop, which is kind of a rarity in most of these fields that we've been in, of not having that extra 15 to 20 feet behind you.
That pitch is up and away, and the batter, Jose Rodriguez, has worked the count full after being down 0-2. Vega with a runner at third and one out. The payoff pitch. Swung on and hit right to Josue Martinez, who grabs it for the line out, keeping the runner, Salinas, at third.
Good job of Martinez there. He looked it into the glove on the soft line, made sure that he kept the runner, Salinas, at third. No need of an error there. No do anything special. Just get the out, leave the runner at third, and try to get out this inning here with 2 outs.
That brings up the first baseman for the Buffaloes, Gavin Shipp. His first appearance in tonight's ball game. Vega looking to work out of this mini jam here he's got in the top of the first inning. His wind and throw. A little bit low, skips away from Sanchez, but in front of him, so the runner has to hold at third. No pitch inside and maybe a little bit low for ball 2. Falls behind here early. Needs to get one into the zone. All the outfielders playing a little bit shallow again tonight, John.
Yeah, when you have outfitters like Piper out there and Brown who have amazing speed, it's a benefit to play shallow. You don't want to get caught with anything over your head though. But there's not much wind in the outfield. Shouldn't have that problem, losing anything in the sun or in the wind.
Vega loses Shipp on 4 straight pitches. It's his second walk in the inning. Runners at the corners now. Salinas is still at third. Gavin Shipp takes up first base. And that'll bring up the right fielder for the Buffaloes, Landon Nelson. Number 19, a left-handed batting right fielder. Will step into that right side batter's box. No harm really done there for Vega.
Prepare for that double steal that everybody tries in high school baseball, where you want to try to sacrifice the runner or get caught in the rundown to get that run in from third.
Shipp swinging away on that one, fouls it back into the backstop for 1 strike. Should he get the opportunity, Daniel Vallejo, the second baseman who just retrieved that foul ball, is on deck. Vega ready. Swung on and hit to Piper, who's on his horse, backing up, and makes the catch. There's that speed that you were talking about, and he gets the third out recorded on the F8. and that'll retire the Buffaloes, and no damage done. Vega gets out of the inning. John, we'll step aside here and go visit our sponsors that are so valuable to the Zach Arnold Productions Network. This is Bowie High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home. When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Welcome back to the volunteer half of the first inning here tonight at the ballpark at Bowie. Let me introduce for you the setting in the field for the Haltom Buffalos. Remind you where everybody is playing tonight. Gavin Shipp is over at first base. Daniel Vallejo at second. Over at third base, Orlando Reyes. At shortstop, Carlos Benitez. Left field, Ethan Salinas. Center field, Matthew Turner. Right field, Landon Nelson. And the battery for the Buffaloes behind the plate, Cannon Wallace. And on the mound, Jose Arriga, number 3, the right-handed pitcher warming up for the Buffaloes. The batting lineup for your Bowie Volunteers, leading off, number 5, Jackson Turner. Batting second, number 3, Micah Couch, the left fielder. Batting third, number 11, Christian Uribe, playing third base tonight. Batting fourth, number 7, Gavin Shipp, playing first base. That didn't sound right, did it? It's not Gavin Shipp. We'll change that and get it right. Should be Roman Ortega. Roman Ortega playing first base for Bowie, batting in that number 4 spot. Jackson Turner stepping in. Got my lineups crossed up, folks. Sorry about that. First pitch is a curveball from Arriga. Umpire calls that a ball.
And this is your tone setter here for the Volunteers. Everything in this offense revolves around 3 players that get things going. Jackson to lead off the game. You have Uribe and Ortega. Those are the 3 that work everything else around to try to generate runs. If Jackson gets on base and you have Couch and Uribe behind him, you want to move him over. So if we can get a good start here, it could be something for the Volunteers.
Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on the leadoff batter, Jackson Turner, playing shortstop for the Vols tonight. Umpire comes in to talk to the pitcher. It may be a teachable moment here for the umpire. He may be doing a motion on the mound that could be construed as a balk situation if there were a runner on base. Umpire's kind of digging out around the the pitcher's plate, and encouraging Roman to make sure he's maintaining contact with the plate most likely. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Returning to action here, Arriga ready. The wind and the pitch. A little bit low and outside. The Buffalo dugout thought that one was in there and good, but it's ball 3. Hitters count now to Jackson Turner.
Blue's been quite consistent, though, with some of his strike zone, the inside-outside balls. He's been consistent at least to the first inning.
Swung on and hit right through the gap into left field. The leadoff batter is aboard. Jackson Turner with a good, solid base hit right between Reyes and Benitez into left field.
As we were saying there, he's the one that sets the tone. He's the one that starts the dinner, the appetizer of the Volunteers lineup. You can't have dinner and dessert without an appetizer there. Jackson now, he's the one that's going to work things around. Like the Southwest egg rolls at Chili's, he's the one that gets things going.
Okay, you're making me hungry. We'll throw in a couple of Taqueria Taco Express tacos, too. How's that?
There we go.
Micah Couch steps in, the left fielder for Bowie tonight. Arriga takes a look at first at Turner and comes home. That pitch a little bit high for ball one.
What a benefit is, too, is having Jackson on first base. He has really good speed that it makes your pitcher have to start worrying. He's going to throw over a lot. He's going to try to work a lot of balls here if you're Couch and try to get into a hitter's count because the pitcher and catcher are worried about that speed at first.
There is a courtesy throw over there as Turner dives back in and gets his uniform dirty. He is now officially in the ball game with a little dirt on his front of his uniform here from the ballpark at Bowie. One thing we do like about natural grass and dirt fields. This ball's hit the left field. Ethan Salinas backing up, makes the catch. Looked a little bit better off the bat than it turned out to be, and it's the first out of the inning. Fly to 7, and that'll bring up Christian Uribe, the third baseman for the Vols, and one of their big bats. And, you know, the Artemis II space station can see this young man from space with those bright orange shoes he's sporting. Got those hunter's orange shoes on, like Gannon Howard does for Arlington High. Throw over to first base, and Turner's back easily.
I thought you were going to say they can see him because he's a bright superstar in the making.
Yeah, we'll go with that, too. I just like his shoes. That pitch a called strike by the home plate umpire.
It's always good to have unorthodox color shoes. You know, my basketball shoes when we go play, they're kind of that orange color, kind of that UTA Mavericks color, Patrick Ewing brand shoes. But it's always good to have unorthodox shoes, greens, pinks, purples, just kind of let you stand out a little bit.
Another throw over to first and gets back in time. Last Friday night, Uribe got a leadoff double in the ball game against Arlington High. Like to see a little bit of that action here tonight. Put a run on the board. Another throw to first base. Turner is definitely inside Uriga's head.
Yeah, like you were saying, that's the benefit of having Jackson out there on first base. Now that the pitcher's not focusing on the batter.
Jackson takes off finally this time. The throw down is past the shortstop. Benitez covering the bag, and Turner is in there safely. Cannon Wallace, not much of a cannon on the throw down to second base.
And Turner had double-digit stolen bases last season, so he's just adding to that career total. He's a very, very speedy player, and it's a benefit of having him there. Now, Arriaga's got that in his mind that Turner can run again with only one out.
Coach Chris Howard for Haltom is coming out to talk to the home plate umpire. I think he feels like Christian Uribe may have interfered with the throw by Cannon Wallace. Very calmly discussing with the home plate umpire. He may be asking for a second opinion from the field umpire, but no, we're just going to come back and play. And Coach Howard heads back to the dugout. Uribe with an 0-2 count against him here with one out in the inning and a runner now in scoring position with Turner down at second base. Everybody's reset. Ready to resume here. Arrigas with a look at second and the throw home. Low and inside for ball one. Bowie Volunteers have Coach Nolan Crowdis over in the coaching box at third base. Head coach Alex Johnson occupies the first base coaching box here for the Volunteers. Crowdis doing such a good job last Friday night, aggressively taking advantage of situations to put Bowie's scores on the board. Wheel and turn to second base as Daniel Vallejo sneaks in behind Turner, but Turner back in plenty of time.
And it's going to sit there in the back of his mind because Turner's not the only runner on this team. You have guys like Piper who can run. You have guys like Brown who can run and Martinez. So Arriaga's going to have to work his way around that now because it's not going to be just one runner for the Volunteers that can get out there and go.
Uribe goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. Do not want to strand that runner in scoring position as Roman Ortega comes up to bat.
First baseman, number 7.
Roman had a fantastic ball game on the mound last Friday night, just in total control. And he didn't do bad at the plate. He was on base 2 of the 3 times, and his runner that night for him was Piper as he was on the pitcher's mound. Curveball hangs high there from Arriga. 2 outs in the inning, and Roman looking for a clutch hit here to get that runner in from second. Got a chance to talk to the young man after the ball game and congratulated him on his beautiful pitching performance. Very humble, very grateful. That pitch away for ball 2.
That's a good job by Cannon Wallace right there to the catcher, having to slide over and prevent that ball from getting past. Like we saw in the first inning with Sanchez, that ball gets past you, the runner's going to move up 90 feet. Jackson's going to be off and running either way.
2-0 delivery. Swung on a hit down the third base line. Foul. Coach Crowdis trying to help the umpire by pointing, but it was almost in the bullpen.
That was fair. It was fair.
Crowdis pointing towards fair territory.
Somebody believe me, it was fair.
Yeah, it was only foul by about 20 yards.
I don't think they ever read the Boy Who Cried Wolf in baseball. I don't know if it works that way.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Ortega. That one low. 3-1 now. Hitter's count coming to Ramon Ortega. Rodriguez comes set, takes a look at second. Comes, wheels and turns, fakes a throw to second base, which is okay. Can't fake a throw to first.
Yeah, be careful with that too. If you come up with the wrong foot, you get a balk, and then it all becomes mute at that point. With the runner end up getting the free pass to third. So he's got to be careful there.
Ball 4. Ramon Ortega works the count well. Good eye on the ball and takes the walk down to first base. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. And the designated hitter, Idem Fiorentino, steps up to the plate. Idem stepping in for his first appearance tonight.
This is a bat you need to get going here in Fiorentino. He's in a 5 spot. You want the 4 and 5 hitters to kind of be the guys that get players moving. Fiorentino, he has 2 runners on now. If you can get Jackson moved over, you can take an early 1-0 lead.
That ball outside for ball 1. Again, Cannon Wallace does a good job of moving his body out into that opposite batter's box to keep that one in front of him. Low and in the dirt for ball 2. Jose Arriga having trouble finding the strike zone here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's some of that just his control early, or if he just has in his mind he has runners on second and first. A lot of this inning has been focusing more on Jackson as a runner than it has been the guy at the plate.
Daniel Vallejo kind of sneaking in behind Turner at second, but the throw comes home and swung on and tapped back to the pitcher. Arriga fields it, throws on to Ship at first, and the Bowie Volunteers squander an opportunity here in the top of the first with the 1-3 putout. That's the 3rd out of the inning, and we'll step aside and go visit our sponsors once again. This is Bowie Volunteer Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Welcome back to the ballpark at Bowie, live in southeast Arlington on the campus of James Bowie High School. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you high school baseball on this beautiful Tuesday night. This is the top of the second inning, and we'd like to remind you that the second inning is presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need a cast iron replacement specialist at 817-807-7069. Pike and Peak Plumbing, serving Arlington for over 16 years, our second inning sponsor.
Daniel Vallejo.
Haltom will be sending up their number 6, 7, 8 hole hitters this half inning. Daniel Vallejo leading off. Fernando Hernandez, the DH, is on deck, and Matthew Turner, their center fielder, is in the hole. Andrew Vega on for his second inning of work here, and his first pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Vega pitched out of a jam in that first inning. No runs on the board. Next pitch is in there for a called strike 1.
Yeah, the last thing he managed to pitch out of a jam, one that was kind of caused by walks. He had allowed 2 walks during that inning, but the defense was behind him to help him get out of that situation.
That was low and on that outside corner for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff batter here in the top of the second, Daniel Vallejo. Swung on and chopped foul at the plate. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck batter Fernando Hernandez trots over and picks up the loose ball. And we're ready for the 2-2. Outside and away, gets away from Sanchez at the plate. No harm done as there's nobody on base, but the count runs full.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there. But that's not a good pitch there to lose your control on in a 2-2 situation. You kind of got to ring that in because if you have runners on or a different spot, it can come back and backfire on you.
That is a called strike at the plate. Vallejo goes down looking, and that's the first out and the first strikeout recorded by Vega here this evening.
Good pitch there. Umpire late on the call. Vallejo was sitting the bat down, but umpire said, go ahead and take a seat there with the bat, young man. Go sit down and see you later.
It was funny because I thought I heard the umpire's vocal call, and then came the delayed visual call for the ring up. It was a good pitch there by Vega. I thought it looked good, but who am I? I'm just the guy with the voice. First pitch to the next batter, Fernando Hernandez, is a ball.
So does that make you the dad of the guy with the voice, and Zach's the voice?
Pops the voice.
Pops the voice.
Swung on and missed at the plate.
Generational voices over here. The Arnold family.
We're a whole bunch of talkers.
Much different than the Adams family.
I don't know. Maybe as creepy as the Adams family. I don't know. Hope mom's not listening in. 2 balls and 1 strike at the plate.
I think the Golden Pipes over here next to me, Yadi Pagan, is listening in. I have a feeling we'll have an Adams Family song played sometime throughout the game.
Swung on and hit out to second base. Jackson Turner fields it cleanly, throws it over to Ortega for the out.
Batting 8.
6-3, the put out for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Matthew Turner for the Haltom Buffalos, the center fielder in tonight's ball game.
And that was good speed there by Hernandez. Turner put a little bit too much lob in that throw from short to first to make sure it was accurate. But Hernandez was rolling down the first baseline there.
Got a little partly cloudy conditions here at the ballpark, and the sun peeks out as Turner squares to bunt and bunts it foul. All the fielders on the left side of the field and the outfield put their gloves up to shade their eyes as the sun peeks out here as it begins to set.
Yeah, the sun's been playing tricks with me all week, Pop. I was supposed to do a commercial shoot in the morning. It says it's supposed to be sunny, but I don't know now. There's clouds are coming and going.
That pitch right down the pipe. Line down to Christian Uribe. Fields it cleanly across the diamond and the out. And that'll retire the Buffaloes 1-2-3 here on the 5-3 put out to end the Buffalo half of the second inning. We'll step aside and give some love to our sponsors. This is Bowie Volunteer Baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com. Welcome back here to the ballpark at Bowie for the bottom half of the second inning. Bowie will be bringing up their 6, 7, 8 hole hitters to the plate to lead off. Josue Martinez, the second baseman, leading off. Andrew Vega, tonight's pitcher, on deck. And the catcher, Raul Sanchez, in the hole. Martinez, Vega, and Sanchez, 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the second. Bowie had a good chance in the first inning with 2 runners on, a runner as far as second base in Jackson Turner, and couldn't get that clutch hit to bring him in, John.
Yeah, they couldn't get him in, and that's one of the things that's been a bugaboo for the Volunteers all season is runners left on base, going all the way back to the opening series versus Grand Prairie, and then the weekend after that versus Sam Houston. You got to get runners in. You got to get the runs generated. You can't get into pitching duels of 2-0 and 3-1 and 2-1 and expect to win. That's why they've dropped some of the games they've lost to Grand Prairie and to Sam Houston, because they can't get those runs generated.
Jose Arriga on the mound for his second inning of work. First pitch a called strike. Second pitch a little bit high. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's the Addams family theme, John. You knew it was coming.
The creepy and the kooky. Was it the creepy and the kooky?
Creepy and they're kooky and altogether spooky. This one's lifted in the infield, maybe headed as far as the outfield. Landon Nelson drifts in, played it just right, and puts it away for the F9. First out of the inning brings up the pitcher, Andrew Vega, for his first appearance at the plate tonight.
Batting 7th, the pitcher, number 2, Andrew Vega.
Pitcher on pitcher here. Vega doing a good job on the defensive side. Let's see if he can swing the bat. He did swing it. He just missed.
Yeah, sometimes you want to trust the guy with the bat, even if he is playing the pitcher for the everyday rotation. But in this case, if you're the guy with the bat, you got to make contact here.
A little bit high there for ball 2. My bad. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is such an unusual setting. No wind in the ballpark. We've had like gale force winds the whole season. This one's lifted in the air in the middle of no man's land. 3 men converging. The second baseman's calling for it, and Daniel Vallejo squeezes it for the second out on the F4. 2 outs away. That brings up Raul Sanchez, the catcher for the Volunteers.
The catcher, number 13, Raul
Sanchez wearing the lucky 13 on his jersey.
This is the part of the lineup there. Every week we say this when we cover a Volunteers game. The 6 through 9 guys need to get more. They need to get more on base, even if hits, walks, something to help this team go further. Until the 6 through 9 guys get hits, you're going to be continuing the same pattern of a big inning and then a 3 up, 3 down, and then a big inning and then a 3 up, 3 down.
Next delivery in. Runs the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. John, the catcher for the Volunteers at the plate. Guess who his favorite Major League Baseball player is?
Because of the hair, I would say Manny Ramirez, but I don't think he's old enough.
Key would be catcher.
Catcher. Yadi Molina's retired.
Hometown hero.
Saltalamacchia. Pudge.
Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge Rodriguez as Sanchez goes down swinging. Unfortunately, we're talking about his favorite player, but he ends the inning on a swinging strikeout, and that will take us to the 3rd inning. We're going to step aside for a short break. This is Bowie Volunteer Baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, sponsored by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more.
Welcome back to the ballpark at Bowie. Bowie goes up and down 1, 2, 3 in that half of the inning, and that takes us to the top of the third. And the third inning is presented by Field Ops. Field Ops does more than just field markings. They also do commercial landscaping. Find out all John Kling can do by calling 817-908-2194. The third inning sponsored by Field Ops.
Pop, speaking of Field Ops, I want to send a shout out to a former field general, Darren Woodson of the Dallas Cowboys. Got to shoot him for a commercial today. Accident Insurance. He is now a follower of Zach Arnold on YouTube.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Darren Woodson, one of my favorite players when he was active on the Cowboys.
Make sure you like and subscribe and be a subscriber like Darren Woodson. The goal is to get to 1,000, folks.
First pitch by Andrew Vega here is low and in the dirt for ball one to the leadoff batter, Cannon Wallace, the catcher for the Buffs. And then back to the top of the order, Ethan Salinas on deck and Orlando Reyes in the hole. Wallace, Salinas, Reyes. Swung on and missed at the plate by Wallace. Count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike.
I tried to get Emmitt Smith to subscribe, but he was too busy today. He wouldn't pull his phone out except for pictures.
Bummer. I'm not sure where that pitch was, but I'm a long ways away from home plate. Umpire says it's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on the leadoff batter here in the top of the third, Cannon Wallace. A little bit low for ball 3. Hitter's count here to Wallace in his first appearance in tonight's ball game. And then back to the top of the order.
There is a consistency here, like we said back in the first inning. Blues giving it the same call for both pitchers. It's just the pitchers are going to have to pitch to contact if they want to get something out of this.
There it is. Vega lifted that ball in the zone just a little bit, enough for the umpire to call that one. It's an even count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Swung on and tapped back to the pitcher. Vega snags it, throws it over to Ortega for that first out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11.
Like we're saying, with the way the strike zone has been so far, there's been some pitches that look good up here to us, but we're not down there behind the plate. But Vega's not really a pitch to contact type of pitcher. That's more of the Ortega style. But to get the outs, you're going to have to do that. That's why we only have 1 strikeout through 1 time around. But it's been beneficial that way. It will benefit you in the long run.
First pitch to Ethan Salinas is a called strike 1 right down the pipe. Good way to get ahead here on the pitcher. He walked his first time at bat. That pitch outside in the dirt and in the other box. 1 ball and 1 strike. Salinas led off the game with a walk, made it as far as third base, and was stranded there in the first inning. Swung on and tapped out to shortstop. Jackson Turner makes the play, throws a little bit stronger throw over to Ortega for the 6-3 putout.
He might have been listening to the to the game down there in the dugout, and he heard. Not trying to criticize him. He's a very, very good athlete. Just a little more pop there to prevent the runner from giving you a tight throw.
Don't make the umpire down there think about it when you don't have to. That'll bring up Orlando Reyes, the third baseman for the Buffalos. First pitch to him is at the knees for a called strike 1. Got a little replay action going on over at Lamar Viking Field. Looks like it was a leadoff double by the Colts. The next pitch in here is called strike. Vega quickly ahead 0-2. Good pitch there. Called third strike on Reyes, and he sits down, and that ends the inning. Vega, I've seen Vega do this before. Vega gets stronger as the game goes along, and the Buffalos are up, 3 down, 2 innings in a row now as we head to the bottom of the third inning. This is Volunteer Baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back. Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe and Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
We're having a discussion about mid-game music here, listening to some fun ballads being played by Yachty Pagan here at the ballpark at Bowie.
If you can't have a good song that doesn't have a story to it, then what are you really singing about? You're just kind of making noise after a point, Pops.
Absolutely. Love it. All right, back here at the Bowie half of the third inning, Bowie will be sending up their 9-1-2 batters to the plate. Darian Brown, the right fielder, leading off. Jackson Turner on deck. Micah Couch in the hold. Brown, a left-handed batter, steps into that right-handed box. Jose Arriga on for his third inning of work, and the first pitch is swung on and missed.
Speaking of trying to make noise there, Brown's the type of guy that you want to get on base with Turner behind him. You have two speedy guys in this part of the lineup, the 9-1. If Brown can get on base, you have something happen here at the bottom of the third.
Swung on and flied to the left side in foul territory. Orlando Reyes giving chase, but it floats into foul territory. And the count goes to 0-2 on Darian Brown. Brown's first appearance at the plate tonight, holding down the right field spot for the Volunteers. The 0-2 pitch from Arriga. My Cannon Wallace held it there for just a little bit, few extra seconds there for the home plate umpire to think about it. But the umpire felt like it was outside and away for ball one.
Oh, good job by Brown, though, too, not to swing on that outside 0-2.
It was close. Swung on and flared to the left side again. Salinas giving chase, but it's going to float into foul territory, well into the Haltom bullpen. Good hustle there by the guys trying to converge on that one. Count stays 1-2. The pitch outside. That curveball hangs outside. Count evens at 2-2 to Darian Brown.
And he's not getting the outside calls that he's expected here against Brown. Brown's doing a good job not chasing on those. And the umpire has been consistent about the outside pitches.
Fouled again to the left side, this time well out of the field of play, and the Buffalos don't even give chase that time. Brown really hanging in there. Battling well against Jose Arriga. Another 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and off the ankle of the pitcher. Over to first base. Fielded there, but Brown is too fast. Gavin Shipp fielded the deflection off of Arriga's ankle. We're going to come check on the young man, make sure he's okay. Brown hustling down the line, legs it out as Gavin Shipp could not come up with it after the ball ricochets off of Jose Arriga. We hope the young man is okay.
Yeah, hopefully Arriga's okay. That ball hit him straight on the ankle, but that's a good job by Brown to leg that out, just like UPS, same-day delivery. What can Brown do for you? Came up big, classic right there at the bottom of the lineup, the number 9 spot to get on first base. And now you have Turner, the speed guy on first. Look for some type of button here or something to try to get out in the outfield if Arriga doesn't come out.
Umpire may give Arriga a couple of warm-up pitches here just to make sure that plant leg, this is the leg that he leads with, I believe, that was hit. Sharp hit off of Brown. We're going to see if he can keep his balance and plant well here.
Does that go as a hit, Pops? Because the ball, it wouldn't have been a base hit if it doesn't hit off of Arriga, correct? Or is that ball already projected to go between short and second? How do you feel that?
My opinion is that was a good, strong hit by Darian Brown. The pitcher just happened to get in the way. It was going to be a hard play for Vallejo at second to get it to the base in time. I think Brown would have legged it out, and I gave him a base hit.
There you go. Second hit for the Volunteers then.
Got a runner at first base down back to the top of the order, and Jackson Turner. Jackson with a base hit, his first at bat tonight. That curveball floats outside into the left-handed batter's box for ball 1.
It'll be interesting to see here if they take the approach of letting Jackson kind of swing away because he got a hit to lead the game off, or because he has such good speed and Brown has good speed at first to try to drop down a bunt and see which way the infield decides to get rid of it.
And there it is, the small ball in effect as he is asked by the coaches to bunt, and he bunts it foul. Brown was off and running.
When Brown had such good speed there that if that ball was to land anywhere fair, he's already at second by the time that ball landed. So it's a good approach there. We'll see if he does it again on the 1-1.
Turner steps back in. Throw over to first base to check on Brown, and he dives back in safely. Gets his uniform dirty.
And Arriaga has a little bit of a hitch there when he was walking back up the mound, probably from that shot to the ankle.
Curveball hangs inside on Turner. The throw down to second base. Brown dives in safely as the ball is just a little bit off center, and Carlos Benitez keeps it in the infield, but Brown down to second base on the straight steal.
I'm interested to see how long, because of the fact he got hit in the ankle. I don't know if the coaches for Haltom see it, but he has a little bit of a hitch there on that release, and as he's just walking around the mound, it's going to be very tender. We'll see how long they give him if the inning starts going negative for the Buffalos.
Good pitch there, foul tipped straight into the catcher's glove for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Turner. Volunteers with a runner in scoring position again here in the bottom of the third. Need a clutch hit with no outs in the inning. Low and inside. Ball 3 as Turner's worked the count full. Brown with a good lead off at second. Payoff pitch is wheeled and turned to second for a feint. Daniel Vallejo kind of sneaking in behind Brown at second base. Arriaga comes set again. Payoff pitch. Swung on and tapped at the plate just a little bit foul this time. Ball goes spinning off to the right side. On deck, batter Micah Couch retrieves it, and he'll give it to the home plate umpire when it's his turn at bat. And we'll do the payoff pitch 3-2 again. Arriaga steps off the pitcher's plate just to chase Brown back. Set on the pitcher's plate again, and we're ready to go. Swung on and chopped to the shortstop. Fielded their long throws, not going to be in time, and gets away. Here comes the runner. Crowd is sending Brown home. The play is safe at the plate. The Volunteers score a clutch run.
Yeah, that would have been a base. That was going to be a base hit because it was a hard throw from the shortstop for Haltom. It did backfire. The first baseman wasn't able to get under a ship, and that ball just sailed over him. And it worked out for the Volunteers. So base hit and an error, Pops, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, I gave him a base hit and an E6 on the throw from the shortstop. It was a tough play, but it was an errant throw that threw the ball away. They're fortunate it didn't go into dead ball territory. It stayed in front of the Bowie dugout. And there's a run on the board for the Volunteers here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 with a runner at second base in Turner and Micah Couch at the plate. That ball well played defensively by Cannon Wallace there, keeping that ball in the dirt in front of him so that Turner had to stay at second.
The last 4 runs for Bowie have all been scored by shortstop errors.
Interesting note by the Golden Pipes of Yadi Pagan here. The last 4 runs scored by the Bowie offense have all been scored due to errors by the opponent's shortstop. Interesting little tidbit. And once again, Crowdis very aggressively sending the runners home. The field umpire has warned the Bowie dugout and said, I could hear quite clearly all the way up here, don't do that again. Not sure what they did, but it was not favorable to the field umpire. 2 balls, no strike count at the plate to Couch. The throw. A little bit low. Ball 3. 3-0 now to the batter, Micah Couch. With Jackson Turner out at second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. That pitch catches that outside low corner for a called strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Couch. Couch with a fly to his counterpart in left field. His first at bat. Hitter's count pitch coming from Arriga. Swung on and hit the left field. It's going to hit the ground and get past the left fielder. Here comes the runner from second. Turner's going to score. The throw goes to second base, the slide, and he's out at second base. But not before the second run scores for the Volunteers.
Yeah, that's a good RBI single there by Couch. He wasn't able to make that into a double there. Got caught at second, even on a good throw. But hey, that extends the lead though. Like Yadi said, the last few runs have been off of shortstop errors. That's the first one off of a hit, and that's something you need when you have the big hitter here in the lineup with the orange shoes ready to swing.
Exciting play there by Micah Couch, getting that ball out to left field to get the RBI. No runners on base now, 1 out, and Uribe chops it down to his counterpart at third. Tough play across the diamond. The throw, the stretch, the ball's on the ground. Uribe safe at first. Long throw for Orlando Reyes there, and it's a little bit to the second base side of the bag. Ship had to stretch every inch of his frame, and the ball came trickling out of his glove as the runner crossed the bag.
Ortega.
Again, scoring a base hit on that for Uribe. 2, 3 back-to-back single baggers for the Volunteers. 4 in a row, sorry. Missed one at the bottom.
4 in a row, Pops, 4 singles.
Runner at first and Uribe, and the first pitch from Rodriguez is a called strike on Roman Ortega. 2 runs scored here in the bottom of the third. Lots of exciting Volunteer action. Share the link with your friends and family on social media and get them in this ballgame. This is a good one. That one chopped down to third base. Bad throw to first base. It's in the dirt. The runner, Uribe, makes it all the way to third. Ortega trots down to second, and the overthrow at first, and there's 2 balls on board with only 1 out. Again, a bad throw by Orlando Reyes.
You know how we were saying back earlier in the first inning that Jackson needed to put more oomph behind that throw because of the way that the base runner was running. And the Buffaloes have been in that same situation. It's been hard throws. They're either lobbing it or to put it in a hard spot to make it hard for the first baseman. He's not able to get under it. It hasn't been on Arriaga that they're getting these runs as much as it is the fielding. The fielding is not helping the pitcher. They're selling past the first baseman, or they're underthrowing it on a hard throw from third or short. So it's just something with the defense. They need to tighten it up. But it's working out for Bowie though, because now you have a 2-0 lead with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and their conference on the mound as the Haltom coach is having a conference. The umpire goes out to break the conference up. Looks like Adriga is going to keep the ball for the moment.
Like again, does that pops go as a base hit? Because that should have been that would be an error, correct, on the third baseman, because he underthrew the first baseman on a ball on a throw that should have been routine.
Yeah, I agree. He fielded it cleanly. It was a tough hop down there, and Reyes was able to field it, but he couldn't plant properly to get the ball all the way across the field and got past Ship at first base. So yeah, I agree with you. An error on that one. Runners at second and third. The first pitch to the new batter, Item Fiorentino, is a ball.
It died on the way to the mound. It didn't on the way to home plate. It didn't even make it the whole 90 feet.
Uribe at third, Ortega at second, one out in the inning. And it gets by all the way to the backstop. Here comes Uribe. He's going to score standing. And the score goes up to 3 runs in this inning. Bowie 3, Haltom 0, as Ortega scampers over to third base. And we have a 2-ball, no-strike count at the plate on Adam Fiorentino. Adriga doing a little groundwork on the mound. I'm sure that was the reason for that pass ball. Probably a hole in the mound or something. 2-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 3.
As you see, when he came out of that release, he's still kicking the ankle up.
Yeah.
He's not comfortable up there, and nobody's warming up in the bullpen for Haltom. That's going to let Arriaga work his way out of there, but he's not comfortable on the mound, and the defense isn't helping him.
Fiorentino resting the bat on his shoulder, trying to get Adriga to bring one into the zone, and he cannot. And Fiorentino trots down to first on the free pass.
The second baseman, Josue Martinez.
Runners at the corners now for the Volunteers with still just 1 out in the inning. Stepping up to the plate, second baseman Josue Martinez flew out to right field his first time at bat.
This inning started with back-to-back singles, and then a throwing error from short that caused helped the Bowie get the first run on the board, and it's just been downhill for the Buffalos since. Bowie's just taking advantage of all errors, and they're still getting hits as well.
Yeah, they've had more hits this inning. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 singles in this inning, in addition to the errors from the Haltom defense, and it's added up to 3 runs for Bowie.
I got 4 singles, and I got the single back in the first. At 5 hits total on the game for the Volunteers.
Runner takes off. The pitch hits the batter at the plate. Josue Martinez will trot down to first base on the hit by pitch, and here comes the coach, and this may be the night for Jose Adriga.
And speaking of hits, that's a different way to get a hit if you're Bowie, but it's effective.
Just clips the uniform of Josue Martinez. Runners are at every base, and that is the end of the evening for the starting pitcher, Adriga. There'll be a new pitcher coming down the pipe, presented by our friends at Pipe and Peak Plumbing, when we come back right after this commercial break.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back to the ballpark at Bowie. We have a pitching change here for the Haltom Buffalos.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. Arrange for a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. The mid-game pitching change brought to you by Pipe and Peak Plumbing.
Number 11. 11, Ethan Salinas.
New pitcher for the Haltom Buffalos,
Salinas,
Ethan
number
Salinas,
11.
comes in
Now
from left
pitching
field
for Haltom.
to take the bump for the Buffaloes as he is warming up now, pitching to Cannon Wallace. Other changes, the starting pitcher, Jose Arriga, moves over to third, and out to center field. Who's in center field? Who's on first? What's on second?
There was the left fielder is coming in to pitch. That was Salinas.
Right.
So
I got Reyes in two different players.
Reyes is pitching. I'm sorry. Reyes is moving out to left.
Yep.
Salinas is coming in from left to pitch, and Arriaga is moving from pitcher to third.
Okay.
With the bum ankle, and
Yeah.
you still see him walking out to third, that may not benefit the Buffaloes there, having a player who is not comfortable. He wasn't comfortable on the mound. Now you're expecting him to play the hot corner. It could be a benefit to Bowie.
Andrew Vega.
As you hear from the Golden Pipes of Yachty Pagan, with the bases loaded, the Bowie Volunteer pitcher, Andrew Vega, stepping into the plate for his second at-bat this evening. Out at third base, Ortega. Second base, Adam Fiorentino. First base, Josue Martinez. Bases full of balls with only one out in the inning. Salinas stepping into a very difficult situation here for Haltom. First pitch, a curveball that drops right into the zone for a called strike one. Nice looking pitch there from Salinas.
Pops there, the final on Arriaga. We're still going to wait to see how the inning goes run-wise because he was responsible for all 3 runs. Currently, 3 runs that he has come across the board against him.
Bunt attempt laid down to the pitcher. He takes the out at first and overthrows the first base. Runner from third comes in to score. Runner from second, Fiorentino, comes around to score. Bowie puts 2 more runs on the board as Ortega comes in from third. Fiorentino comes all the way from second to score. Josue Martinez makes it over to third.
Catcher number 13.
Just resetting all the players.
Sanchez.
Vega on board now with the error from the pitcher. Laid down the bunt, made it to second base on the E1, and that brings up the catcher for the Vols, Raul Sanchez. Still just 1 out in the inning. Runners at second and third now for the Vols. Martinez at third, Vega at second. Curveball swung on and missed by Sanchez.
Running at second base for the Volunteers.
Well, let's change what I was originally saying. Instead of having responsible for all 3 runs left, 2 of those 3 runs ended up coming across the score. So Arriaga's given up 5 runs, depending on what happens to Martinez at third. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. One of those was hit by a pitch. He gave up 5 hits to Volunteers. And he is still responsible for the runner at third base.
Mendez courtesy for the pitcher.
Jot catching up on a little switcheroo at second base. Now running for the pitcher, Vega, is Mendez. Mendez at second. 1-1 count at the plate on Sanchez. That ball's bunted. It was a intentional bunt, and the runner was coming from third. The play this time is a sure throw to first for the 1-3 out and the second out of the inning, but the runner was coming all the way as Josue Martinez comes in to score.
Yep, so there's that 6th run credited to Arriaga since that was originally his last batter, Martinez. Now anything responsible after that will go to Salinas on the mound. Good job, though, by Sanchez to drop that bunt down and try to get the runner moved around. And now we're batting around, Pops.
Yep, we batted around. This is the 10th batter of the inning. We started off with Darian Brown. We're going to go with him one more time, and the Volunteers have officially ruined my score sheet for the first time this year.
That is a positive problem to have.
It is. Got to move over, slide over to another column here to keep the Vols at the bat. Brown asked for time at the plate as he felt like Salinas was taking too long between pitches. 2 outs in the inning, 6 runs on the board for the Vols, and the runner at third base in Mendez. Still a runner in scoring position for Brown here. That pitch a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes to Darian Brown, who did a really good job battling at the plate last time and ending up getting a single. Single, stolen base, and scored that first run here in the inning. It's a real breakout offensive inning for the Bowie Volunteers here. That curveball hung a little bit high and outside. Ball 3, Brown will be resting his bat on his shoulder for this next pitch, making Salinas come into the zone.
Shout out to Mom, the producer, in the chat. She says she's watching at home from tonight. So just want to let you know, Pops, that Mom is at home listening to you.
There is a called strike on Brown on the outside corner. Mom, the voice, listening in. She's my angel I kiss every good morning, a la Charlie Pride.
And let her know you're thinking about her when you're gone.
And there we go. 3-1 to Darian Brown. Pitch from Salinas. Swung on and lifted into the outfield. Reyes floating over to make the catch for the third out. And the Buffaloes are finally out of this inning with a F7. And we got a little Kiss an Angel good morning on the PA here from Yanni Pagan as we step aside to go visit some of our sponsors. This is Bowie Breakout Volunteer Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back. Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome back here to the ballpark at Bowie. As the wheels came off of the wagon the Buffaloes were dragging, Bowie Volunteers put 6 runs on the board with a string of base hits, John. It was they did get a couple of runs on an error, but they got put 6 total on several base hits in that half inning. Good breakout inning for the Bowie Volunteers. We're going to go to our 4th inning presenter here. Trinity Logistics Services bringing you the 4th inning. Don't let hauling be a hassle. Trinity has dumpsters that fit any size project, and they drop off and pick up so you can focus on cleaning up for the win for your home or business. Call Chet Soto at 817-693-1302 for more information. The 4th inning presented by Trinity Logistics Services. Bowie Haltom having a team meeting out there between their dugout and third base. Coach trying to get them refocused here as they had a tough inning defensively there. They'll be bringing up their 3, 4, 5 hitters, the heart of their batting order. Jose Rodriguez, who is still in the ball game for them, should be leading off. Gavin Shipp, the first baseman, on deck, and Landon Nelson, the right fielder, in the hole. Rodriguez, Shipp, and Nelson, 1, 2, 3 for the Buffaloes here this inning as Andrew Vega reacquaints himself with the pitching mound.
Jose Arriaga.
Vega ready for the first pitch. Swung on and hit to right field. Few steps to his right is Darian Brown, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Biggest pet peeve of mine is first pitch swinging. But there's a benefit because that works out and the benefit for the Volunteers with Vega having a long inning, kind of sitting there on the bench watching as his team was putting across 6 runs. That's always what you need there, one quick out.
Stepping into the plate, Gavin Shipp, the first baseman, been on the receiving end of a couple of bad throws from his teammates so far tonight. And him not able to snag them before they got by him. First pitch to him from Vega outside, ball 1. Shipp drew a walk his first time at bat way back in the first inning. That next pitch right down the pipe from Vega for a called strike 1.
Yeah, I'm sure Shipp is thinking that his team is killing me small as you're killing me. That's what he's just telling his team in the dugout.
Yeah. Ball 2 to him. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Lou for ball 3. Hitter's count coming to Gavin Ship. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on base. 1 out in the inning so far. Vega working strong here. Good strong throw in there for a called strike 2. Count evens at 3 balls and 2 strikes on the batter, Gavin Ship. Vega's payoff pitch. A little bit low and inside. Puts him on board.
Ship's been a bright spot for the Buffaloes. Got on base both times, both off of walks. Yet to get some type of action going with the bats. So Vega's doing a very good job keeping the Buffaloes contained on the base path tonight.
Roman Ortega holding Ship close at first base. Vega's pitch home to the left-handed batting Landon Nelson. Swung on and missed for strike 1.
Score update pops across town. The Colts lead 3-0, starting the top of the 5th inning.
Still a very close ball game. Hoping Bustamante can stay in control of that one as that ball is fouled back into the backstop by Nelson. 0-2 as Vega works ahead in the count early here.
Look at that hustle there to retrieve that ball. That's some sportsmanship down there going on between the two players.
0-2 pitch coming from Vegas, fouled off into the backstop again.
It's a good feeling though when you're Bowie. You come across a big win last week versus Arlington on Thursday, and now you have a 6-0 lead against a team in Haltom that you had struggles with last year, who was a playoff team.
Ship takes off for second base, makes it in standing as the batter at the plate goes down on strikes. Andrew Vega
Daniel Vallejo
with his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 outs now in the inning. Runner at second base in Gavin Ship. And in steps Daniel Vallejo, the second baseman.
And you can just kind of see the players are out there with big smiles on their faces because they have a 6-0 lead. It's been a up and down season all year for the Volunteers. Had a lot of close games, especially with Martin and Sam Houston, in games that you were just a run or 2 off, but you couldn't generate anything. So it's a good feeling there that they're very optimistic out there with the 6-0 lead in the bottom of the top of the 4th.
0-2 ball gets away from Sanchez at the plate, but not far enough for the runner to advance. Count evens at 1-1.
It's not like I've been chewing on middle all day. My voice, I'm ready for it to come back, Pops. It's almost here, but it's just not all the way here yet.
That ball swung on to the right side. You know, the people that rely on their voices for their profession, it's tough to have the laryngitis. Our pastor at our church over the weekend said he's been out for a couple of weeks. We had a guest preacher this week for Easter Sunday. Had a guest preacher because the pastor has laryngitis. Kind of hard to speak when you can't get any sound out. 2 balls, 2 strikes at the plate to Daniel Vallejo.
It looked right there on that 1-2. The umpire couldn't get any sound out on a pitch that looked like a strike. It looked like he was just trying to spit it out. He couldn't get it, so he's called it a ball.
That one's high and away. That one kind of gets away. A little bit too much oomph on that one for Vega. And the count runs even at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with people that have scratchy voices. Stevie Nicks has a very, very raspy voice, and she's an iconic singer. So some people, it benefits them. For me, not really too much.
Payoff pitch outside for ball 4. Walk, strikeout, walk for Vega here. And we got 2 runners aboard with 2 outs.
Four walks on the night for Haltom. Vegas is losing his control in certain situations. He had a 1-2 there and just wasn't able to put away Vallejo with 2 outs. Anything that you can get, you're not getting certain calls on the outside part of the plate. Pitch low, pitch to contact, and try to let your defense help you out. Your defense is proven to get you this far. As long as they don't kind of do what Haltom's did the last inning, you find yourself in a position to get out of the inning.
Yeah, you don't want to lose focus here defensively. Stay sharp. Make the plays when you get a chance. First pitch a strike. Second pitch close to the same spot, but out of the zone for 1-1 count here on the DH, Fernando Hernandez.
And I was always kind of told that you want to keep your defense involved, especially in the infield, because they have to have that reaction time. They need to continue focusing on it. So you want to keep your defense involved back there.
Swung on and missed at the plate. Hernandez down in the count, 1-2 to Vega. One-two pitch down in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Deuces are running wild out there, Jot.
Running wild everywhere like the NWO in the 90s.
2-2 pitch on its way. Swung on and missed. The ball gets away. Got to throw down to first with 2 runners on and 2 outs. And Sanchez able to get it down there for the strikeout. And the 3rd out of the inning. Haltom strands 2, and we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Let's do the mid-4th reader here. Mid-4th, as we see how these final innings unfold, Modern West invites you to see the difference new windows can make in your home. Visit modernwestwindows.com to learn more about the sponsors of the ZAP 4th inning stretch. As we hear the strains of Take Me Out to the Ball Game here at the ballpark at Bowie, we'll be back right after this. The 4th inning stretch brought to you by Modern West Windows.
When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Jackson Turner.
Ethan Salinas still on the mound for Haltom. A new left fielder in Braden Powell enters the game in left field for the Buffalos. And Bowie. Wow, it seems like they were just at bat. Bowie will be sending up their top of the order. Jackson Turner leading off. Micah Couch on deck. Christian Uribe in the hole for the Volunteers. 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Salinas a little bit high. 6-0. Bowie Volunteers on top here.
Yeah, fans, don't adjust your dial. We haven't seen a lot of this season.
Long fly ball to right field. Fair or foul? It's fair. There goes the runner. Turner rounds first, second, headed to third base. The brakes are put on by Crowdis at third, and it's a leadoff triple for Jackson Turner.
Yeah, Jackson turned the speed on there. He was running like a Ford Mustang out in the open wild, and he was just rolling around second going to the third. Good pop there. Opposite field push on that hit. So he's already in scoring position with no outs, Pops.
Here we go again, Bowie. Long hit by him. The right fielder was playing towards center field. He had a long run and just couldn't get there. And the ball just by a foot, fair. And the ball gets away at the plate, but Turner's going to stay at third.
And I don't think he was expecting much of Turner to push the ball to the opposite side of the field like that. When you have a righty up there on a righty-righty matchup, you don't get a lot of balls hit down deep right field. Everything's kind of pulled left. So that was a good job by Turner to hit where the right fielder wasn't going to reach to and use that speed.
John, it looks like Arlington's put a 4th run on the board up at Lamar. The 1-0 pitch here. A little bit high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Micah Couch.
If we combine scores, it's 10-0. That means we get to go home after 5 innings.
Yeah, let's do it. 2-0 count coming here to Couch. Salinas a long look and finally steps off the pitcher's plate. Maybe just a little bit nervous about Jackson Turner over there at third. Salinas comes set. And the throw home. In the zone for a called strike one. The ball trickles away from Wallace at the plate, but not far enough for Turner to come home.
And this is kind of where a little coaching comes in, too, for Haltom. And when you're down 6-0, you have Turner at third. You got to kind of tell your pitcher, just don't worry about the runner.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere at third base. You know you can't. You don't. The guys behind him aren't bunt type hitters. They want to swing. So just go up there and let them make them swing.
Couch does swing at that one, and the ball gets away from Wallace. A little bit farther this time, but still no run from Turner. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Micah Couch. Couch with an RBI single in that big inning in the third. But trying to stretch that single into a 2-bagger was put out at second base. But still a good, solid hit to bring in a run. Haltom liked that pitch, but they're not the ones that make the call. Home plate umpire tells them to hush over there.
Yeah, Blue doesn't want to hear everything. They have ears, too, out there. You can't get away with certain things when you yell it loud enough.
They used to tell us as an umpire, don't have rabbit ears. Don't respond to the things you hear. Payoff pitch coming. Outside. Couch works that one and draws a walk. Runners at the corner now for Bowie.
Third baseman.
Double steal opportunity here for Bowie. You try to sacrifice that runner and go on from first to second and get Jackson in, which is I've seen a lot of teams do around here. So we'll see if they attempt to do that. But you have Uribe, who's the big bat, coming up to hit here. You might just let him swing away and not worry about it.
Uribe with a base hit, RBI, and scored a run in that third inning. Runners at the corners, nobody out. The runner is going. The throw down to second base is cut off in midfield, trying to catch the runner coming home from third, but he stays put.
Surprised they didn't try to send Jackson there once the catcher got rid of it. Most times catchers eat that there on a double steal, but interesting approach there when the runner goes from first to second with Jackson at third, not to run him.
2 runners in scoring position. Throw into Uribe is another ball. 2 balls, no strikes at the plate. Bowie with another great opportunity to pad their lead here with Uribe at third and Turner at third and Couch at second. Uribe at the plate. Swung on and hit to shortstop. Benitez fields the ball, throws across to the first base bag, gets the out, and both runners will hold fast.
Yeah, that was kind of a dangerous play because we've seen a lot of routine plays.
Yeah.
To first.
You kind of hold your breath, don't you?
You held your if you're a Buffalo, you held your breath right there. And again, interesting when you have the throw once he releases it to throw to first, Jackson's still standing at third. He's got great speed. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't tried to run him yet. I know you don't want to kill your momentum, but it is interesting.
You would think once Benitez committed to the throw to first, you send the runner, and then they got to make a perfect throw at the plate to get the speedy Turner.
And especially the way that the throws have been going to first, that Benitez could have saw Jackson take off. He's not going to try to stop and throw it home. He's already in the motion of throwing to first, but they've had a hard time of throwing routine plays to first.
Ortega with a base hit to right field. It's going to be getting away all the way to the fence. Here comes the runner from third. Turner's going to score. Micah Couch scores from second, and the ball finally retrieved back into the infield. And Roman Ortega gets a two-run base hit. 2 RBIs there.
2 RBI single for Ortega. And Bowie is just taking it to town.
Tarantino.
Throw over to first base.
That's good right there.
Ortega gets back easily. Item Fiorentino looks at a pitch called a strike. No balls, 1 strike to the batter, Adam Fiorentino. Another throw over to first. Ortega back easily. 2 more runs on the board for the Volunteers, makes it 8-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. That pitch low and inside for ball 2. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 1-ball count. 1 ball, 1 strike, says the home plate umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. That pitch gets away from Wallace outside, but he keeps it in front of him, so the runner Ortega will stick to his bag. Now it's 2-1.
We were ahead by a pitch.
We were anticipating.
I'm sure the Buffalos, after the way these Arlington games have gone between the Colts and the Volunteers, they're going to be happy not to see Zap next season. Because it's been bad luck this year for Haltom. They've gotten shut out. Perfect game once already, then a 10-run rule the second game, and now they're looking at an 8-0 deficit. They do not want to see Zap in the near future because we don't bring good luck.
The only 2 perfect games in Arlington history because of Zap.
Because of Pops. For
Okay,
the only,
hold on.
yeah. 2-2 count here, swung on and fouled back out of play.
Pops brings the good luck to the Colts against the Buffalos. Yeah, the Buffalos are going to be so happy to have a new district next year. Unlike us, we will not be as happy as we will welcome Aledo, Granbury, and Weatherford.
I was thinking this week about the Tuesday night drives to Aledo, the Tuesday night drives out to Weatherford, out to Granbury.
I don't think those Granbury ones are happening, Pops. I'm sorry. If you got to come from Arlington and me and Zach got to come from wherever, it is not going to happen anytime soon. The Granbury, we welcome you to the district, but you might not be welcoming us to the ballpark anytime soon because that's a long drive on a Tuesday night.
2-2 the count to the batter, Fiorentino. Ball tapped out into the hole and past the second baseman Vallejo into right field. The right fielder, Landon Nelson, playing very shallow, gets that ball back into the infield quickly. And Fiorentino will stick at first base with a single, pushing pushing Ortega down to second. And that'll bring up Josue Martinez. Again, the Volunteers making contact with the ball and getting it where the Buffalos are not.
That is correct, getting it where they're not. And they're not first pitch. So we haven't had a lot of first pitch swinging. We're not chasing after pitches outside. The umpire is not really giving those calls out there anyways, but you're not doing a lot of bad chasing that you've seen in certain games like Sam Houston and like Martin that puts you in bad situations. You're continuing to do the basic fundamentals, hitting it where it's not in this working account.
Second baseman for the Vols, Josue Martinez, in the box right now. Takes a look at ball 1. Fly to 9 and hit by a pitch and scored a run in that third inning. Took one for the team and it helped him score. That one also inside. Martinez trying to spin away from that one to keep it from hitting him again. He wants to swing away here. We don't want to do any more of that hit by pitch stuff. Let's hit the ball like everybody else. 2 runners on, only 1 out in the inning. Another one high and inside. Three balls and no strikes. Froze. Got a little.
That was ball 4, Pops. Another
got
runner on base.
runner on
Bases
base.
loaded.
So I got distracted by a message from one of our listeners that said that the picture had frozen, so we wanted to get that corrected for you all. That puts Josue down at first base, and the bases will be loaded here for the Volunteers.
A new teaching moment here for Haltom as the coach comes back out to kind of settle things down. Teaching moment for the players out there in a game that you're getting beat 8-0, and there's 2 runners on. Just kind of work through, play basic fundamentals, and get yourself out of the inning.
Vallejo is pitching now, number 21.
There is going to be a pitching change, Pops. Vallejo is going to be pitching. So
well, we've got a pitching change on the way. So new pitcher coming down the pipe, presented by our friends at Pipe and Peak Plumbing. When we come back, we'll tell you who the new pitcher is. Hang with us.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sports, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Vega!
Welcome back. We've got a pitching change. The pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. Arrange for a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. Pipe and Peak presenting the pitching changes here in tonight's ball game. The new pitcher for the Haltom Buffalos, Daniel Vallejo, comes in from second base to take position on the mound with the bases loaded here and only 1 out, stepping into a very difficult situation. Have we spied who's playing second for the Buffalos? Going to get the old spyglass out here and see if we can find a number on that black uniform. And we'll let you know who's playing second base now.
I can't see, Pops. He hadn't had a chance to turn
11.
around yet.
It's number 11 at second base. Do we have a number 11?
Ethan Salinas.
Salinas goes from the mound over to second.
Okay.
The old pirate monocular here from Pops. Pitch comes into the new Bowie batter, the pitcher for the Bowie Volunteers, Andrew Vega. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Vega.
We got a pinch runner out there at second as well, Pops. I believe
Piper
is
yep.
pinch running.
That's Piper at second.
Running at second base for Bowie, number 1, Isaiah Piper.
Piper with a very distinctive hairstyle. Makes it easy to recognize him on sight without needing a number.
One of my favorite newcomers on this team for the Volunteers. Piper, there's Sturgill, there's Brown. Guys we didn't get a chance to see a lot last year. They excite me with their speed, their youth, their athleticism. And Piper, I like the way he plays a mean center field for the Volunteers.
That ball is hit to the second baseman, Salinas, but there's nobody covering any of the bags, and all of the Volunteers move up, and another run plates.
That's how you help your own cause there. Base hit, first baseman Ship watched that ball go by him, and then the second baseman Salinas went to go retrieve it. Ship just kind of stood there, never made a move home. We didn't know what Salinas was doing. But a run came in because of that. Just Ship probably didn't trust the way the throws were coming into him. There's no point of covering first, I guess.
Everybody moves up 1 base, and that'll bring up the catcher, Sanchez, who hits this one right up the middle and into center field. Here comes Piper coming in to score. Right behind him, Josue Martinez is held up at third. Another run on the board on the base hit up the middle.
Right fielder, Darian Brown.
Martinez at third. Andrew Vega at second. Raul Sanchez with the base hit at first. Bases are still loaded with one out here. 10 runs on the board. And that'll bring up Darian Brown.
Pops, you might be looking at a second time around to where you had to scratch out a few things on your scorecard because they're about to bat around again.
We're headed that way. That's why I use an erasable pen. I've already got the little arrows for the bottom of the fifth and the bottom of the sixth and the concurrent columns here, but I might have to erase those. Darian Brown with one ball on his count here with the bases full of balls, and this was swung and fouled over the third base dugout. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bowie really with the offensive outpouring tonight. Good sign for them to get 2 good solid wins back to back. A great win last Friday night over district leading Arlington and steaming into another big win here tonight at the ballpark. That pitch right down the middle from Vallejo for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Darian Brown. Top of the order, Jackson Turner taking some cuts in the on-deck circle. Throw blocked at the plate by Cannon Wallace. Good job for him. Counts evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up at Lamar, it looks like Lamar's put a couple on the board here in the top of the bottom of the third. It's 4-2 Arlington headed to the top of the 6th. 2-2 count here on Brown. Curveball hangs up and outside for ball 3. Full count coming to Brown.
Yeah, there's a little bit of life going on in that game there, Pops. The Vikings, they know they're hanging on to a tight race with Arlington and Martin, and they need to hang on and try to get a win.
There's another base hit up the middle for Darian Brown. Josue Martinez will score from third, and Coach Crowdis puts the stop sign up for everybody else. And it's 11-0 Volunteers.
It's like a merry-go-round. Everybody gets a chance to go in circles. you get on base, you wait for the next guy to move you around.
And again, John, base hit, base hit, base hit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles and 2 walks in this inning. The Volunteers are doing a fantastic job at the plate.
Yeah, this game changed once Arriaga got hit in the ankle on that base hit by Brown back in the bottom of the third. He wasn't able to get his control, and then the defense hurt him. The defense gave up 3 or 4 errors in that inning and made it life hard for Arriaga, who was fighting through ankle pain. And the Volunteers took advantage of it, scoring those 6. Now they're about to top that here with 5 already in the bottom of the 4th.
Jackson Turner at the plate. Taps this one out in kind of a slow tapper, cut off by Ship. The pitcher does not get over there in time, and everybody moves up, and another run scores.
Yeah, the defense there is not.
Just bad defensive shift.
Bad defensive shift there. Nobody covered first. The pitcher had to run to cover first because Ship is making moves on the inside. Him and Salinas are basically crossing each other out there, and that's the second or third time they've done that this inning. So Bowie's taking advantage of it. You want that if you're a Volunteer. You have a 12-0 lead now. But in a teaching moment like that for Haltom, your infielders are just colliding in the same spot. Nobody's covering bases anymore.
Yeah. Micah Couch at the plate for his second at bat. Walked and scored a run earlier this inning. First pitch from Vallejo is a called strike 1. If I've got my runners in the right positions, Raul Sanchez should be down at third, Darian Brown at second, and Jackson Turner at first. Sturgill now running for Sanchez. Zion Sturgill into the game. Ball at the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Running at third base for Bowie, number 16, Zion Sturgill.
We're still 1 down, 1 out this inning, Pops.
Yeah.
6 runs have come across, only 1 out this inning. Efficient inning for the Volunteers.
Curveball hangs high, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. As John Ethan gets tired of sitting, takes the standing position to produce here for us. You can only take so much. in the sitting position. That ball is low and outside. Ball 3 to Micah Couch.
I'm not going to lie, Pops. I'm in the same boat, but the saving grace for me today was that hamburger from downstairs. Only thing I've eaten today, that and some M&Ms, so they're coming in handy, getting me through this. But I'm waiting. I don't know what I'm going to eat.
Ball 4, and Daniel Vallejo and the Buffalos walk in a run.
I just hope I eat as good as the Volunteers are, because they are eating tonight.
They are eating some lean bison tonight.
I think Fuddruckers closed. They used to do good bison burgers.
That'll push Brown over to third. Turner out to second. Couch takes up position at first on the walk. And it looks like we're going to have another change here. The Buffaloes coach has the ball in his hand. And we will be experiencing another pitching change. New pitcher coming down the pipe, presented by our friends at Pipe and Peak Plumbing. When we come back, we'll let you know who our new pitcher is. Looks like it's number 6. We'll attach a name to that number right after this.
Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Haltom, number 6, Braden Powell. Braden Powell, number 6, now pitching for Haltom.
Back live here at the ballpark at Bowie. Pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. Arrange for a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. It's a good night for Pipe and Peak to get all this advertising as we're on our 4th pitcher for Haltom tonight. After the pitching change, the new pitcher on the mound, the former recently injected left fielder, number 6, Braden Powell, takes the bump for the Volunteers to try and stop the bleeding here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bowie has plated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 additional runs. The bases are still loaded, and your score on the scoreboard is lucky 13-0.
Yeah, it's an unlucky night for the Buffaloes. Pops, I have an out there question for you because of all the pipe and peak things.
Okay.
We have the golden pipes of Yadi Pagan next to me, correct?
Yes, we do.
If he was a Mario fan, would he be Wario because he has the golden pipes? He has to get the golden costume to go with it.
Well, he does play the Mario theme as part of his repertoire, which is one of my favorite things he plays.
And I do have a belly.
And he's got the little belly going.
We have the perfect Wario for the next Mario movie next to us, the golden pipes of Yadi Pagan.
We're running out of things to talk about up here, folks. With Bowie with a 13-0 lead, bases loaded, 1 out, and the new batter at the plate, Uribe, for his 2nd time up this inning. And that ball gets away at the plate. Oh, the runner thinks about coming from third and puts the brakes on and returns. We got a substitute runner down there. Who is that running? Number 23 for Bowie.
That's Darian Brown.
Is it Brown?
That's
okay.
Brown. What can Brown do for you?
My
Brown
bad.
got the game started, though. That's what he has
sure
done
did.
for us. By getting the game started back in the bottom of the 3rd. Yes, it was a painful way to get the game started with the hit off of Arriaga's ankle, but it got the scoring started for Bowie.
Braden Powell finds the strike zone, though, for a called strike. Arlington High has put another run on the board in the top of the 6th. It's heading to the bottom of the 6th. Arlington 5, Lamar 2 on the Zap Network on the northeast side of town. Northwest side of town, my bad. Northwest side of town. That ball bounces into the dirt in front of the plate for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Powell coming in a very, very difficult situation here for Haltom. Just having been put out into left field this inning and now called on to come pitch. The base is loaded and 1 out here, and Bowie already having quite a few runs on the board, trying to get his team out of a bad spot here.
Pops, you want to talk about the northeast side of the town? The Rangers have a 3-2 lead over the Mariners at Globe Life.
You mean there's another game of baseball in town besides high school ball?
There is. Somewhere over the rainbow, there is baseball. Baseball is king here in Arlington, at least until fall.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch up and away. Count runs full. 3-2 to the current batter, Christian Uribe. The only out of the inning for the Buffalos was Uribe, way back when. Let's see if he can get on board here and further the cause.
The sun was still up when the inning started,
I think the sun was still up, Yachty says, when we started this inning. 3-2 pitch, curveball swung on and missed. Uribe accounting for both outs here so far in this half inning.
We'll still be here in 9 batters.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we got 6 more runs to put on the board now in between Uribe's outs. That brings up Ramon Ortega.
Ramon Ortega.
Just revisiting the brilliant game he pitched here at this ballpark on Friday night against Arlington. The at that time district leading Arlington Colts just really hogtied them that night with some brilliant pitching. First pitch into Ortega is a called strike 1.
Pops, you want to add to adding more baseball to your night here in Arlington? The UTA Mavericks, the place you and I both called home.
Yep.
They lost at Clay Gold to the Baylor Bears 5-2. So baseball was running around Arlington all night tonight.
Former Arlington High player Alex Bustamante plays for the Mavericks now. Keeping track of our alumni. That ball fouled away by Ortega. Count goes to 0-2.
Or, I believe, older brother Danny, correct?
That Park Road pipeline is real.
Yeah, it is.
Pipe and peak. A lot of pipelines and pipes and peaks.
Oh, that's a called strike. And finally, the Buffalos get out of the inning on a called strikeout on Ramon Ortega. But not before the Volunteers stretch the lead to 13-0 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. This could be the Buffalos' last at bat here with this kind of a lead. We'll step aside and visit our sponsors one more time, hopefully for the Volunteer fans. This is High School Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the ZAP network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com. Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning as Bowie has a commanding lead heading into the top of the 5th, what could be the last opportunity for the Haltom Buffalos here tonight. 13 for Bowie, 0 for the Buffalos as Andrew Vega comes off of taking a nap, a second nap in a row in the dugout to pitch for the 5th inning here. He's got a bunch of goose eggs on the board so far for the Bowie defense. Haltom sending their 8, 9, and back to the top of the order, 1 batters to the plate this inning. Matthew Turner, center fielder, leading off. Cannon Wallace, the catcher, is on deck. And then back to the top, the once pitcher, now second baseman, once left fielder, Ethan Salinas. We had so many changes at the pitching mound for Haltom. This ball is hit to left field. It's going to curve foul ball. Strike 1. Vega looking to get the 5-inning complete game. He's got no hits so far. Rooting for him to close this one out. That ball a little bit outside. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, I may have just invoked the announcer's jinx on him here. But I don't think Haltom's got a chance of closing a 13-run gap here. That ball outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It gives me a good chance to tally how the game went for the Volunteers while we are looking at a nice game here on the mound from Vega.
That pitch a called strike. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vega essentially ahead in the count.
I can give you an idea of what to expect when we get to the John Wade Post Game Show.
Called strike 3, looking for Mr. Vega. Put a backwards K on that for the first out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks on the game for Andrew Vega. And that'll bring up the bottom of the order. Number 9 hole hitting Cannon Wallace, the catcher, who in his only appearance tonight grounded out to the pitcher. First delivery home is outside for ball 1. The Buffaloes just haven't had very many opportunities. Vegas set them down in order. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the second and third. That ball tapped lightly at the plate. Back into the backstop for a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Fiorentino comes out to retrieve that one. One pitch coming from Vega. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes at the plate. Fouled at the plate, off the catcher's mask, off the umpire's shoulder. Count will stay 1 and 2 at the plate.
Math never was my best subject, Pops. I'm taking a second here to do a little math and seeing how this game has gone for the Volunteers.
Swung on and hit out to Uribe. Uribe fields it cleanly. Throw across to Ortega, and the out is registered. 2 outs here in the inning on the 5-3 putout. And that'll take us back to the top of the order for the Haltom Buffalos. And John, get the calculator out, get the abacus out, take your shoes off, and use your toes. We're running out of time here.
I'm running out of time here. My brain is processing as fast as it can.
Get the M&Ms out and line them up. And
there's not enough red and blue M&Ms inside my bag, but these M&Ms have been lifesavers for me today.
First pitch into the top of the order. Ethan Salinas is inside for ball 1.
I'm at the bottom of the lineup. I'm almost there.
Volunteers ahead by more than 10 here.
That's what's making it hard to count.
Yep. That pitch hit out to Josue Martinez. He bobbles it, recovers, throws. Does he get him? No, it's safe at first base. You get another chance, John.
Oh, man, that's not the way I wanted it to happen.
And that's going to have to be an error. So the perfect, the no-hitter, I don't know. Was that an error?
That's an error.
The consensus is it's an error on the first baseman. Yeah, on the second baseman, I'm sorry.
Second baseman.
Second baseman bobbled it. So Salinas on first base on the E4. 2 outs in the inning, and that brings up Orlando Reyes.
I feel like this is I'm taking the SAT again, Pops.
That pitch is outside at the plate. This is not Orlando Reyes. Who's at bat here? Number 6.
That is Braden
Powell, the new pitcher. Want to get it right, folks. Throw over to first base, and Salinas is back.
All right, pins down. I'm done.
All right.
Pins down. I'm done. Don't ask me to do that again.
That ball's tapped back into the backstop. Count runs even. 1 ball and 1 strike at the plate to Powell. Powell, the latest in a long string of pitchers for the Buffaloes tonight. Jose Arriaga, Ethan Salinas, Daniel Vallejo, and Braden Powell all hurling the rock for the Buffaloes tonight. Vega going the distance likely. 2 outs in the inning.
going the distance like Hercules, but Michael Bolton is not singing, Pops. If Michael Bolton was singing. I don't remember how the rest of the song goes.
1-1 pitch in there for a called strike 2. Buffaloes potentially down to their last strike. Everybody standing in honor in the booth here of Vega. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and hello, wind column. Bringing back a little Mark Holtz there. Hello, wind column for the Bowie Volunteers here at the ballpark at Bowie. Andrew Vega with the complete game no-hitter for the Bowie Volunteers here tonight. Bowie wins on the mercy rule here, 13-0. We're going to step aside and take just a very short break, and we'll come back with the John Wade Roofing post-game show right after this commercial.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome back to Southeast Arlington on the ballpark at Bowie, as your Bowie Volunteers have won this game in commanding fashion tonight over the Haltom Buffalos, 13-0. The mercy rule ending this one here in the 5th inning. And we're heading into the John Wade Roofing postgame show. Jot, what are your observations? All that math that you did, what do you got to share with us?
I learned that I am not Einstein, and pi is hard to calculate.
I like pie, though.
Pie is good. Cherry pie is my favorite with a little scoop of vanilla on the top.
Yeah.
Pops, here's what I learned. I learned Jackson Turner went 4 for 4 tonight, that he reached base all 4 times. He got on safely with the base hit. He had a triple. He had 3 singles. Every Volunteer reached base tonight safely, either by walk, by error, or by base hit on their way to this 13-0 win. I learned that every batter had a hit except for Jose Martinez, but he reached base safe twicely, hit by pitch and that walk as well. And Darian Brown, the 9 spot in the lineup, like we were saying earlier, your 9 and your 1 and 2, they served the dishes for 3, 4, 5, and they were serving up some good steak tonight. Darian Brown got on base 2 out of 3 times, 2 singles, a stolen base, and he got the runs started by getting that base hit, which hurt Arriaga because it bounced off of his ankle and kind of affected the game for the Buffaloes. But that hit ultimately catapulted the Volunteers, because behind that, Jackson Turner, he got his second hit. There's an error there. And then everybody else behind him, base hit from Couch, base hit from Uribe. And the defense from the Buffaloes hurt Arriaga that 3rd inning, and it took away any chance that he would have been able to fight through and stay in the game, resulting in the 4 errors for the Buffaloes.
And, you know, it was exciting for us to be able to see Bowie finally getting a lot of bat on ball tonight. A lot of safe base hits tonight by the Bowie Volunteers. But if we had to circle around to the defense, we kind of had a consensus here in the booth that we're going to award the player of the game to the Bowie pitcher tonight. Andrew Vega went the distance tonight, gave up no hits to the Buffaloes tonight, and scored the 13-0 shutout with a stellar performance on the mound. Great bounce-back game after what happened to him at Arlington High last Tuesday night. He did not let that affect his mental outlook and came back tonight with a very strong performance against Haltom and got the shutout win tonight. And very good player of the game, Andrew Vega.
And one of the things that's helped Vega tonight differently than the other nights, it was the run production. 2 weeks ago when we last saw Vega, you saw him last week versus Arlington, But last time I saw him before my voice went away and I was singing as the Angels, he didn't have the run production behind him. They lost to Martin that game.
Yeah.
But he ultimately, before he got pulled, he was pitching a game that was 2-0, 3-0. The bats couldn't come alive. They couldn't get any hits. And it's been much of the same way versus Sam Houston versus Grand Prairie. The bats came alive, and the defense of Haltom hurt the Buffalos. But if they can carry that momentum forward, Ortega's your Friday pitcher. He's a more strikeout pitcher than Vega is. If you can get the bats going, now you've racked up 3 in a row. You have Lamar coming around the corner. Lamar's currently trailing to the Colts. If they lose that series, then you're right there knocking on the door for 4.
Yep.
And you end the season differently this year than you did last year, looking up instead of looking down.
Yeah, Bowie definitely took care of the business they needed to take care of tonight, and they need to do the same thing on Friday at Haltom is the next production of Zach Arnold Productions with Bowie Volunteer Baseball. So tune in for that, or better yet, go to the game and show your support to Bowie. I was a little disappointed. Haltom only had 3 fans in the stands tonight. They did not travel well tonight. So Bowie fans, get out there and go to Haltom and yell for your team, or tune in to Zach Arnold Productions for that game. You mentioned the game on the northwest side of town at Lamar Field. Arlington 7, Lamar 2 in the top of the 7th inning. So Arlington on their way to winning that first important game against Lamar. Arlington will be home against those same Lamar Vikings on Friday night. And so the next opportunities for Zach Arnold Productions to tune in to some live action Friday night. Bowie at Haltom and Lamar at Arlington. The post-game show, we want to remind you, is brought to you by John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was team MVP in 1976. He also played for TCU and UTA football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy the company has built in the community for over 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs or gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. The postgame show brought to you by John Wade Roofing. Any final thoughts tonight, John?
Final thoughts tonight. The first thought is traffic sucks, and it allowed me not to eat. I'm very starving. Caniac Combo is calling my name.
I hear that.
Second thought is Vega has done what Vega has done most of the season, and that has been a very productive pitcher. Yes, he's had games this season where he's given up 2, 3, 4 runs in a night, but the bats weren't able to come alive those games, and it made it look harder for him. And then the other thing is the bats showed up. Now you need to take that, what you learned tonight, like every other lesson we learn in school, and you apply it to the next day.
Yep.
The same way you do, Pops, as a teacher, same way I do when I teach at Tarrant County, that you take those lessons, you apply it to the next day's circumstances. Next day for these volunteers is Friday against the same Buffalo team who's clearly struggling compared to what last season looked like for Haltom.
All right. I like that. And with that, we're going to kind of close things out here. I want to thank our crew here tonight. A little interesting note, John Ethan Wilson, give a shout out to him on production tonight, did a great job for us. John Ethan has now produced 4 straight games that have been ended by a 10-run mercy rule. So we're going to have to start counting that and see just how many more games he can put on the board that end in a mercy rule. So from all of us here, Jot Holly getting his voice back slowly on color tonight. This is and John Ethan Wilson on production. This is Pops Arnold. We're going to sign off and say goodnight from the ballpark at Bowie. Drive home safely if you're here at the ballpark, and tune in on Friday. And until then, stay warm, healthy, and happy.